want to tell us about these?
Well, picking a direction is another tough decision because having a one-way road comes with consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's this way.
Yeah.
Somebody comes down there, then they got to turn around in the church parking lot, or they want to cut through. And right now, Public Works is actually meeting with the church to try to mitigate any impact to that. So you go the other way, you can only go this way, and then trying to turn around in there if you come down from that way.
There is a fair bit of sentiment making it two-way.
Yeah.
But on one lane. And, like King Street, basically.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever sat
I mean, if you
out
did
here?
that, you don't want diagonal parking, you want dead-end parking.
Or parallel. Well, I guess parallel is weird when it's two-direction.
Well,
you could.
But, yeah, don't make it so slanted. Make it more straight. So you can come in and park from either direction.
Or no parking.
Or no
Well, I was thinking, if we make this better, will more people use it? Has anyone sat out here for a day to see how much this is used? Because I walk this way a lot. I do not ever see many cars. Every now and then I see one, and I've never seen them
Except an event.
Well, an event, of course, and by then you have all your vendors out here for most events, or for the farmers market you have people here. And I think, I don't want to say people have a lot of common sense, but most people have common sense and they can figure out, what to do. So, but the nicer we make it, then you're going to have, I think, more traffic.
Yeah.
And less safe. That's also something too. Yesterday when I was out here, there was lots of kids out here. And so I think having the asphalt fixed is going to be good for everyone. It's going to be safer for the kids. But this is one of the few places I see that they really spend, at least I've seen it. This has been such a good thing for them. But again, they're not here all the time either. But I'm not as concerned about this becoming any type of highway that we're going to have to worry that much about turning. Because I just walk this way almost every single day, and it is very good. Except for David. But if we, the better we make it, the more people will use it. I have no idea. And I do get concerned about people that if we ever have events again, having worked with the Agate Festival, those people know how to get more cars in here and more trailers in here than anyone. And so where are they going to go? Unless they just ignore the lines, which that would happen. Because they'd have to be over in the Presbyterian Church parking lot. Or somewhere, because also you have the people coming to these events. So
what alternatives do we have about the positioning in terms of the curb? You were saying that you really were hoping that there be a curb on the west side. If we do that, from your point of view, from the practical drainage point of view, can we put it at whatever distance from where it's now paved without any problem? It's just somewhere between now and the edge of the park. We need it, or where do we need it?
Wherever the pavement ends, or the parking or whatever, there needs to be a curb or something there, or a sidewalk curb, or just a forward curb, to capture the water and put it into the storm drains. And that can be designed to go anywhere you want.
Is there a particular height curb we need?
I think it's a 4-inch curb.
Which is probably standard?
Yeah, that's standard.
Until cars go over it?
Yeah, lots to consider, isn't there?
No, well, because we're responsible for maintaining this too, for the lifetime of the project. Which I think some things on the original thing said 7 years. Which I hope we'd get more than 7 years.
Yeah,
but anyway, that's where we're responsible from the granting institution to do that.
So I read that as, after 7 years, we can do what we want. If we want to remove the sidewalk or whatever, we could. But I'm just saying that it's not a feature that will be here for generations just because it's here if somebody doesn't want it. But there is a time limit. We can't just build it then tear it out.
No, that would be silly.
Yeah.
But in terms of a curb, I mean, of course, someone can go crazy and go.
Yeah.
But we put a curb on the west side and let's say a sidewalk on the east, just as I suppose, not that it's necessarily what I.
Yeah. I'm following you.
Besides, and no parking, let's just say. Then what maintenance is there that you would think? Just painting the curb every year or two?
If there was no parking on the curb, we'd have to paint that yellow. But yeah, it would just be clean, regular maintenance, regular street.
Yeah, get some moss off or whatever. But,
Yeah.
and if we add parking, then there's the striping. That's the only difference.
Yeah. And these logs, these were donated to us by Dave Reesick. He was the original concept artist. You guys know Dave?
I don't know when I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've worked with him a lot. He dropped these logs off and just asked Public Works to use their backhoe to kind of line them up. There was no magical spot.
This is just where they landed.
Yeah. So, it wasn't part of a plan. It was just a place mark. Like this is coming. Yeah. And this is in the original park plan, having parking here. At least according to Dave Reesick, he said.
So if we didn't have parking, we could just extend this grassy area out of it.
Yeah.
We do have parking.
We can remove the logs, poles.
I guess in theory we can parking at part of it and not on the rest.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is valuable parking. To be honest. No matter what we're doing on grass or if we do it, I mean, it's used.
Yeah.
How do we maybe maintain something like that?
One of the things why it's before the South Reservoir project, this used to be a lot muddy. I had the contractors stage all their materials here, and they needed to lay down gravel first because they had it on pallets and lots of stuff. So they're parking their heavy machinery for the weekend. So we got a free gift out of that deal. Well, we paid for it one way or the other.
Right.
But it improved the area.
Well, that's an interesting comment because, the mayor had been concerned about muddiness.
Yeah.
It also suggests that if we ever had a muddy problem, that a solution is to put down some more gravel.
Yeah. And, being we are a weed killer free society, there's always going to be maintenance of it coming out of it. But if we get what we've done on other gravel roads is if there was more gravel here, we could have the guy in the backhoe just scrape it with his bucket. But right now, there's just not enough material here to do it.
Rick, what have you seen as far as maintenance when gravel meets pavement? As far as does it degrade the pavement or is it a good marriage of materials?
It's not a good marriage of materials. The biggest problem for asphalt is when you drive over the edge because it wants to squish, even if it's really dry. And that's why on our best roads, like if you drive down Quiet Water, I had those roads repaved a few years ago, and you can see that I have these. They have these special grinding machines that run along the curb areas, and ground out, and the new pavement comes down and squishes up against the sidewalk concrete. So that road's tight. It's got nowhere to go. It's held within a frame. If you gravel it, you'll constantly start eating away through time toward, like, let's say like that spot. I can't prove that half of it. It starts looking like that.
Wavy.
Yeah. Yeah. And part of our road maintenance and part of what we had the county do, since they they didn't curb it, but we did have them put rock up way high so we could protect that curb. What I worry about here is they just lack of maintenance, torrential rain trenches that can develop in the gravel, and overall drainage. But it could work. We could put gravel to asphalt, but it doesn't. I don't know what ODOT would consider that a good scoring number to do that, because we're asking for a lot of money, and part of it is to protect the product. And they pay for the storm drain too.
So my reading of this was that they were probably 100 points for the road condition, and then we needed another 118.5 points.
Yeah.
And that a sidewalk was giving us 10,
I don't have it memorized.
and I think a curb was maybe giving us 10. So if we somehow now built up 145 because we have two sidewalks and multiple curbs and ramps. So we had some wiggle room.
And all these changes will go back to ODOT.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're changing the conditions.
Right.
And that's before it would go to an engineer.
Yes, I would recommend that. That way we know that it actually qualifies and is still competitive before we go through the cost of redrawing.
Same.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, the only thing I'd ask the engineer for is any changes in specifications that's made on the application itself.
Right.
Because to get that right, and not misunderstandings. 15 minutes of this time can save us a lot of money. Alrighty.